and they weren't able to actually reproduce children. And that's why the generations in the Caribbean are so much younger of black people than the generations in North America, because they were breeding them in North America. In the Caribbean, they would just work us to death and then go back and get some more, right? So if now we have some time off the plantation, and yeah, we're going to be sexual and we're going to express ourselves, and carnival came from us imitating and mocking the Europeans who was trying to imitate carnevale, which comes from Venice and comes from Italy, where they would wear masks and do those parties. And so we started doing that to imitate them, but also we put into our...
I have to correct you there.
What?
You're partly right. I wouldn't say imitate. We were banned from their masquerades. It was boring anyways. And then we created our own, but a lot of our costumes and deities actually came from
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting
that one.
You did. I was flying the plane, but you didn't let me land it.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Also, a lot of it comes from Igbo, Yoruba, Akan, Ashanti, and also with the indigenous peoples who would wear bird feathers, who would wear these things. So it wasn't just like, that's just how it started. It was like, you know, a mix up, like a Dutch pot, and you just put everything in there. And like, for instance, that's how we have like these complex soups and stews, because we would just get everything that grew and put it in there. That's why when I have my soup and it's like a hard food soup or something like that, it's just got like, it's got gongo pea in there, it's got plantain in there, it's got green banana in there, it's got all them things there. Whereas Europeans, they do a soup and it's like tomato soup, or it's like a mixed veg soup. It's got like 3 veg in it. So I'm saying all of this to say that when we put it in the context of expression and liberation and liberation movements, then yes, it makes sense. But when we put it within the context of we are pandering to Europeans, then no, it doesn't make sense. Then in fact, it's disempowering. So something that is empowering is something that is with your culture and within your setting, and you can control. Because the thing is like, if he puts that on his Instagram and he's got 30 million followers, right? Instagram's getting paid from the engagement, and he's also getting paid from paid promotions and sending money back to his businesses. None of that makes any money for her or her man, right? So
that's exploitation,
right? You just exploit yourself for no reason, right? She didn't know that was going to go viral.
Her community, then it would be different.
Right, exactly. And the thing is that she didn't know that was going to go viral, but because he's famous and because he's white, she hoped that it would. That's why she started doing it, because she wouldn't have started doing it to a homeless man in the street. So let's contextualize it like that. There's a reason why she did it in front of him in particular. She wouldn't have. You see a homeless man in the street and there's no phone present. You just go up to him and start whining. Come on now.
Well, this is what I said that before, when I was saying in the beginning, it's an amalgamation of a lot of things. You know, it's attention, of course, knowing that this person is social media famous or whatever the case may be. And a whole bunch of other shit. But yeah, okay. Next topic.
Yeah. We move it. The next topic is more of an important one. Is when these elections them go down, are people them just gonna stay in that country and not move?
You mean in America we're talking about?
I mean in America. I mean in the UK. I mean anywhere where we're far flung.
So do you think that, because I have a different view on this, I think I'm all for repatriating to Africa, but I don't think that everyone needs to go to Africa. I feel like African Americans built this country and they should rightfully stay here and fight. But I'm not against people also saying, you know what, I want to go to Ghana or I want to go to Nigeria or wherever the case may be. But I don't agree with the whole everyone needs to just move. Like, no, their ancestors built this country, so stay up and burn down Babylon. That's how I look at it.
But fight for what?
Fight for, well, I wouldn't say equality, that's a little cliche, but fight for independence. Black Wall Street existed at one point. Like, I would love to see a more improved Black Wall Street. I would love us to have a stronger economic base. I'm saying us because I'm Black, but that's what I think. I don't think they should leave their damn country.
Okay.
But American will have to speak on that. That's what I think.
Okay. Oh, I think that you're right in the context of fighting. I don't think fighting for independence. I think taking or claiming independence. But claiming independence means claiming your own economy. It means doing the work that needs to be done to truly be independent, not just be like, oh, you white people, we built this country, we want some of our stuff back, right? Because yeah, the thing got built under oppressive situation, but why is everybody keep asking for humanity from their oppressors? That thing there doesn't make sense. I'm tired of people being like, we demand, it's like, don't demand, just take it, just do it. Whatever you see that you need to do, do it. We demand to be treated equal. Well, if people actually understood what voting is, they're voting to become members of Civitas, or to become a civilian or a citizen, which is a member of a corporation of the United States. So you, in those votes, you're becoming property of the state. And so when the state comes to kill you, so police are coming to kill us, police are contract killers, and they're terminating property. That's why there's no UN or anybody can come and get involved in terms of this is against human rights violations, because technically under contract law it's not. So when I see people like, we just need to vote for Biden and everything will be better, it's like, no, you need your own political party and you need your own nation. Because why is it that there's Chinatown and there's no Nigeria, there's no Yoruba land, there's no anymore, Black Wall Street and all of them thing there? And the other thing is, and this I think is the bigger thing that I have a problem with, is that the USA is based on empire and nation statism, is based on a military industrial complex, and all of the wealth that comes from that country is based on colonizing other countries. Whereas the wealth of Ghana is not based on colonizing other countries. The wealth of Ivory Coast, the wealth of Tanzania, etc., is not based on colonizing other countries. So when they're staying there and fighting for wealth, they're fighting for wealth from a country that steals wealth. They're not fighting for wealth from a country that actually has wealth. And so it's like, well, if you want to continue to be part of the problem, then do so. But really, there should be ethical, sustainable solutions that are found. And I think that, no, not everybody who's Black should move to Africa. But what I do is everybody who is Black or indigenous should be able to get some of the wealth of Africa and use it to help benefit their friends, their family, and their community. So if you are trying to get wealth from Europeans, right, but Europeans is getting their wealth from Africa, then you got shit fucked up. That's why I was part of a delegation that brought the Prime Minister of Barbados to Ghana to create a bilateral trade agreement, because too long have people been like, well, we just hope that Europeans is going to give them some wealth. It's like, why don't we just trade between Barbados and Ghana? Why don't we just trade between Jamaica and Nigeria? Why don't we just trade between Trinidad and Kenya direct? Why are we got to always be like, we hope white people don't come and ask African Americans if they can go to Nigeria? They just go.
I agree with that.
I also feel like there should be family member representatives who are the representatives of the Smith family or the Green family or whatever in Africa, who manage the businesses and make sure that no, initially, yes, you'll be sending money back to Africa to be able to establish yourself. But then when those businesses start making money, you send money back to the ghettos in the USA, because there's ghettos in the USA where people don't have shit and white people ain't about to give them shit. So it's like, well, it's possible. So why is it just Western Union going back to Jamaica? There should be actually a Western Union coming from Ghana, coming from Nigeria, etc., going into North America to be able to then make business moves, because China is giving their people and giving loans to their Chinese diaspora who are starting businesses to then send money back to China. That's how it works. It's not they just go over. They get money from their. You may I say? They get money from China to start businesses to then send money back to China. That's how it should work. It shouldn't just be, oh, we're just going to send money back to Africa and forever we're going to send money back to Jamaica. It's like, no, the money should go there and then come back. It shouldn't just go. That doesn't make no sense.
I agree with that 100%. See,
So,
they have a process to things and an order to things, and I think we need to adopt that kind of process as well, because they are really all over the Caribbean right now, and they're on to work on the bridges. They're on to work on infrastructure. You know, so
I'm taking you to the sun because the sun did a leave out.
okay.
So I'm around the pool.
With the pickups,
Taking
them.
you to the sun.
I love that idea. I feel like that's the most sensible idea I've heard in a long time.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to be like, all right, well, we are going to go back to Africa and we need the West to fund it forever when the West is making money from here. So why is it that African Americans, Jamaicans, Brazilians, etc., can't just make wealth from Africa too? It's like we have this whole rhetoric that the whole of Africa is poor, but it's not. Like I'm in a mansion right now. Like, yeah, my friend is a famous music artist, and that's why I'm here. But when I move here, based on the businesses that I'm going to start and generate, I'm not going to live in no hut. That's for true. I need my yard to run like a business. Like the yard that I'm at now is everybody, oh, you're going to go to Africa, and there's all dust roads, and it's like I'm not here to promote materialism or to promote us and them or to promote classism. But like, can I turn this around? I don't know
You know?
why. It's not letting me turn it around, but can you see?
Oh yes, that's beautiful. Giving me Caribbean vibe. Okay.
Right. So, you know, that is also something that's possible. So I'm tired of people kind of acquiescing their power to power structures that are based on African wealth and African resources. No, actually, y'all can come and get some of this too, because this is who you are and where you're from.
Well, I
So,
go there in December.
first time, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Um, when you come here, you'll be like everybody else. You won't want to go back. You'll be trying to get land. You'll be trying to get a yard. Because the thing is this, yeah? This is the other thing. It's something I was looking at the other day. To get a house here that is 10-bedroom mansion with like, you know, I don't know, 15, 20 rooms in the yard with a driveway, with a pool, all of that stuff is $10,000 a month, US, right? If you want to get a yard that is a 5-bedroom mansion, right, you can get that for as little as $4,000, $3,000 a month. Some people right now in LA are paying that on a shit condo. For what? To a European bank. For who? And you're just looking at them like, there is a different way to do it. And I think it's about practicing group economics where you are so that you can send representatives to Africa who are intelligent, educated, can be the business managers for your family business. and then you get property, you acquire land, you run your family business, it makes money, and then you start sending money back to the USA so that people can afford to live. Because that's the other thing is the cost of living is too high. You don't have no, you, how old are you now? Or you can't say on live? You're
I'm
30.
not of my age. I'm 31.
All right, I'm 32. My mother had me when she was 16. Two times the age of my mother when she had kids. Me not have no picnic, right? And for different reasons, obviously, I want to take care of all of the kids that don't have parents, and before I have my own kids. But also, the cost of living is too high. It's like if you go back to like the 1920s and the 1930s, to be able to buy a yard in Compton, you could get a house in Compton for like $5,000, right? Which or $4,000, which at the time was the equivalent of what you could earn now in a job in like 4 years time, right? But now to buy a house there is like 500,000 or whatever stupid amount of money it is, and that money is not going to be able to be earned for at least 20 years. So you have people working. It seems like you're fighting for more fighting. You're not fighting for. There's no Wakanda there. There's no utopia there. There's no end of this. It's just you're just gonna be in a fight. And stop, as soon as you stop competing, you're gonna win. As soon as you stop, what is it Bob Marley said? He said, as soon as the day that you stop running is the day that you win the race.
Well, damn.
So I feel like you'll come here, you'll be like, yeah, man. Because I was like, you know, Africa before I went back to the Caribbean. I was born in Barbados, but I went to Africa before I went back to the Caribbean. And the reason I did that was because I was like, I've read enough books to understand that the Caribbean countries are just American colonies. So I'm not going to get there and feel any kind of, you know, um, homeland type of feeling. But Jamaica is my cultural home, but Africa is my spiritual home, right? And the bones of our ancestors have mineralized the soil here for hundreds of thousands of years. The bones of our ancestors in the Caribbean have only mineralized soil there for like 100, 200 years, right? That's not our home. So, and it's an American colony, and it's, you know, all of them are indebted to the IMF and the World Bank. Yes, there's countries here that are indebted to the IMF and the World Bank, but there's also enough people here to say fuck that and fuck that system. Whereas Jamaica, for instance, relies so heavily on outside exported foods, sorry, outside imported foods, that if they were to say that, then they would have what would happen again. Sorry, they would have what happened before in Haiti, when the Haitians was like, we take our country back, and then the French was like, all right, cool, well, you owe us 125 million.
$1 billion.
Right. You owe us 125 million francs, which you're going to pay off for the next 120 years, or you are not going to be able to eat anything on the island. You're going to starve. You're not going to be able to export anything. You're not going to be able to import anything. We'll blow up your ships. So just see Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and all these countries today say we're not paying back the loan, the IMF and the World Bank, and they'll see how quickly they'll be cut off from the world economically. for like relatively minor amounts of money, like $1 billion or $1.5 billion or whatever the loan, $2 billion, whatever the loans Jamaica has taken, is not a lot of money for 3 million people on an island, right? That is really not a lot of money to say that how much human capital is there, intangible assets, and also physical mineral wealth resources, where it's like, well, over the last 5 years, Jamaica generated 14 billion in bauxite, which is what you need to make aluminium, right? Country taking loans of $2 billion, generating more than it's actually a deficit. It's like, same with Africa. It's like, how are African countries indebted to European countries when actually African countries are net creditors? They are not net debtors, because between 1977 and 2008, African countries generated 948 billion, I think, for exportation and European wealth systems, including Chinese now as well, right? But they say that Africa is $238 billion in debt. It's like, but how is Africa in debt when we provide more than we take? Please tell me.
Sorry, I was reading this question.
What a question that.
Isn't Barbados removing the Queen as the head of state? Do you predict any repercussions?
I don't predict repercussions with Barbados because Mia, the leader of the country, and her government are really intelligent.
That's a minister?
You are?
Is that the prime minister?
Yeah, they're really intelligent. Her and her government are really intelligent. So they're not doing it to be like, fuck white people. They're doing it to be like, no, we need to do for ourselves. And if you stop us from doing for ourselves, then you're going to look bad. But now it's time now. And
I love him for that. I love Barbados for that. My country would never.
like Barbados is one of the smallest islands. So why is it that Barbados, yeah, is removing the Queen of the head as the head of state, coming to Ghana, creating a bilateral trade agreement, going to Kenya and setting up an office for CARICOM, right? But the bigger islands just don't have the capacity to do that. They're not doing any of that. But yet they're in and they're meeting and having dinner with Bill Gates, though.
Who had meeting with Bill Gates?
Holness. Andrew Holness had a meeting and dinner with Bill Gates before this whole thing started. He met him in November. Bill Gates must have helped him to get re-elected, and that's why Jamaica's been so strict on the lockdown things, because like they're in Bill Gates.
Damn.
Like, I get keeping friendships, don't burn bridges. I'm not saying burn Europe, because I'm not into burning. What's the point of burning stuff? But what I am saying is that if their existence, I can't remember the exact quote by James Baldwin, but if their existence is rooted in my oppression, then fuck them. You know? And then on top of all of that stuff, you have this lost culture and this generation of lost people who are all like, well, it's okay because, you know, we're living nice. It's like, no, actually, most of us are not living nice. Like, as in, our people in the ghettos. That's why I work with people in the ghettos. That's why I'll always make sure that my business is going to uplift the ghettos, because the people that you represent, black people, sorry, someone calling me. The people that you represent, black people, right? Generally speaking, are the most oppressed and the people who face the most structural violence and aggression. So if you're a representative of these people and you've got privilege, then don't try to marginalize and downplay the experiences of other black people who don't have your privilege, don't have the access to the opportunities that you have, just because you're getting that white check. Just take the white money and shut up, but stop telling us and stop gaslighting us and telling us that our experiences, we just don't experience them. We just got a chip on our shoulder. Black women have just got attitude. Like, black women have got attitude because black women are being treated worse than all other women. Treat black women equal to how you treat white women, and then black women ain't gonna have an attitude overnight. Just try it. It'll happen like overnight.
Hold on, hold on. I'm reading the comments and they're like, why isn't she speaking? Maybe you guys are new to me. I speak all of the time. And because Shaka here is in Instagram jail, I want to listen. You know, I don't have to talk all of the time, guys. If you follow me, you know that I chat all of the time, nonstop. So
For a long time now,
back,
I've been in jail.
back to you.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that I feel like it's kind of mad where you are seeing and being presented. So I'm just filling my water bottle. Um, you are seeing and being.
There goes your bootleg internet again. Oh, he's frozen again. If you're not talking, that means you agree with all he says, and that's fine, I guess. No, it doesn't mean that I agree with everything that he says. If I disagree, I will interject. But he's talking. You know, you should try it sometime. Just listen. It's called active listening. Where is he? Chakabars and his bootleg internet in the jungle. Why is his internet bootleg? I'm just joking with him. Let's see if he comes back on. Yeah, Shaka is in jail, and that's why we are having a live, so he can talk. Jungle Wi-Fi, right? Okay, let's wait for him. If not, let me text him and see. Maybe he got kidnapped by elephants. I don't know. Let me see. Let me write him. Where's number be again? He in Instagram prison. Okay, I guess the elephants kidnapped him. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. All right. Poor Shaka. He's locked up. They won't let him out. They won't let him out. He's locked up. They won't let him out. No. Okay, guys. The whole purpose of me coming on live was to let Shaka speak. So since they kidnapped him out in these streets. Oh, Shaka, we thought you got locked up physically. You have me here singing Akon. And locked up, they won't let him out. So they won't let him out. Oh, he's back. Praise the Lord.
You know them. I just fling it off, fling it off every time the engagement goes more and more.
Yes, continue speaking.
Oh, so I was talking about puppet Negro celebrities who can't just take the white check and shut up, but they have to actually try and downplay and marginalize other people's experiences. Because, like Lil Wayne and 50 Cent, oh, I like exotic women. It's like, what's that? Well, what is exotic women? Seen as exotic means other. That means other to black, because black women are exotic. If you really want to go on what exotic means, black women, black women are the standard. The indigenous women of the earth live in the tropics. That's what exotic is, because it was seen as other to Europe. So when you're like, oh, I only like exotic women, it makes me think, well, So you hate your black mom then? Just shut up. Just stop having your opinions. Just make your music and shut up. When you look at people who consistently try to downplay, because these upper Negroes, these people are the black bourgeoisie. They're not. They're not representative of most people.
Right. And this is something that I always tell people when they like, oh, can you make an AK Facts video on this? This person said this. This is not a reflection of the entire world and thought process.
Right.
So, but again, they're visible. They're visible. So obviously, if you don't have the common sense to know, well, okay, if you see something often, you're gonna start believing that it is a majority, then you're gonna get suckered into the fuckery.
And they're not thought leaders. They don't read books, most of them, and they're not even cultural leaders, right? Jews who run the music industry for leaders because they're the ones who is allowing nigger, 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 bitch, 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 and all these things to get stepping people from being able to say any other derogatory slurs. All of a sudden, anything that is said about Jews owning the music industry is all of a sudden anti-Semitic. Like black people just woke up one day and hated Jews. We didn't, and we don't. And also, these people, they don't influence culture to anything that is progressive. But that goes back to self-hate. Is when you hate yourself, everything that is bad for you, you will hate, and everything that is good for you, everything that is bad for you, you will love, and everything that is good for you, you will hate. So, like these people, people like me, because it's all about self-love, and it shines a light on their fuckery. Oh, that's that deep shit. Oh, why we talk? We just want to have fun. We want to up. There's Ace Rocky. Oh, I live in Calabasas. I don't know about any of that black shit. And then you get locked up in Sweden, and all of a sudden you're a Black Lives Matter activist. Right now you're black. Now you want to be black, and it's like, well, and uh, uh, in we will overcome one day, right? Then you're never gonna overcome, because one day never exists, because tomorrow isn't real. All we have is what is now, is in the present. So if you start to say we are rich, that's why I love it when it's like, imagine. So my friend, I've referred to her a few times, but imagine, I was the first man that she's ever shown her natural crown to, and she's 24. I'm the first, apart from like members of her family, I'm the first man that she's been intimate with, that she's ever shown a natural hair to. That shit is deep. You feel like, to be intimate with a man, you have to wear the makeup, wear a wig, and portray a standard of beauty that you can't achieve. So then you can't even have real sex then, because the sex that you're having is based on a standard that you can't reach. It's like this whole porn star sexualized fantasy, trying to validate yourself through Eurocentric thinking. Then that means that once you start saying, let me strip all that back, let me get back to my natural self, then you get your true power. Because the power is not the resources, the power is the human spirit, and being able to manipulate those resources to do something that we see as valuable. Right now, the resources is being manipulated to create debt. That's not very valuable to us. We should manipulate the resources to create more wealth and power for us. Like, for instance, Africa doesn't have a nuclear weapon. Did you know that? Not any of the 54 countries, Africa doesn't have one nuclear weapon. Do you not think that that's crazy to say that plutonium and uranium come from Congo? So what makes a nuclear weapon exist comes from the center of Africa, the heart chakra of Africa, but not one single African country has a nuclear weapon. So when Mandela came into power in 1994, right, part of the plan of him coming into power was that South Africa would have to send their nuclear missiles, they had two, would have to send them out of Africa. So Africa doesn't have no nuclear program, doesn't have no missiles. So it's like, so how can Africa be a superpower if that's the barometer of what is what determines a superpower? Is you have to be able to carry out, you know, exponential violence in another country, and Africa doesn't have that potential, but those minerals come from Africa.
Side note, someone said that you need a podcast.
Yeah, we're working on that. Someone said young Pharaoh is way more real and way more knowing. Why do you have to compare people to other people?
You know how human beings are.
It doesn't make no sense. Like,
and we're not in a race to be more woke. Like there's no like freaking woke award. Like, oh my God, I'm more woke than you and I know more than you. Anyone can do anything. I know lots of things. I might not speak on it, but we're not here to compete. We're here to elevate ourselves individually and our culture, and that's it. Like we ain't gotta do all of that.
The thing is,
and you.
the thing is that I don't even consider myself woke. I consider myself awake, but I reject the term woke because what? A black man or an African man who knows his history is all of a sudden special. You're supposed to know your history. If a Japanese person knows all of their history back to the first dynasty, they're not considered woke. They just know their history because they're supposed to. So, yeah, ultimately, whether or not you want to believe it, the empire is falling down. It is collapsing. The dollar is being destroyed systematically through the fact that the USA is in more and more debt each year. What do you think that it has nothing to back up its wealth on, or its wealth by? And y'all are on a sinking ship. And until you start to acknowledge that you're on a sinking ship and start, like, if the USA really said to black people, we're not giving you no more food, right? Given that there's hardly any black farmers in the USA, what would you do?
Reading these comments, sorry.
People wouldn't really be able to do nothing. So I live in Africa, and my name is an African name. And I've always, from when my mother first gave birth to me, knew that at one point I would be here. It's just taken me a while to get here because I was born into poverty. I didn't have shit. I have no silver spoon. Sometimes my mother had to starve herself so we can have food. A lot of people don't aren't able to be in like this third, fourth generation in particular countries, aren't able to understand that level of poverty because uh, uh, because they've got some stuff now. You know, there's welfare now, right? But when our grandparents and our great grandparents got to the UK, there was no such thing as welfare. Is you worked to eat, and that was it. There was no you could sit in your house and not do anything.
Oh, wait, sorry, guys. I'm on a rocking stool, so that's why I'm rocking back and forth.
Just,
It's annoying. Sorry.
don't move for them. Move
No,
for
I
yourself.
somebody being distracted. Somebody else said it. Like, why is she rocking? It's because I'm on a rocking stool, so really when I move, it moves.
As behavioral learning difficulty because she wants to move the pelvis. So what? Left.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'll say to people, what I'll say to people is when you have a consistent idea that your present and your past is rooted in suffering, you're never going to prosper, ever, 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 ever. So you need to start. Back to what I was saying about my friend loving hair, or we need to start turning to nature and start your natural state so that you can build from there, because now we have these Western marriages and we have Western banks and we have Western food and we have all this Western stuff. But since we got this Western shit, what did we really build? Show me the empire, show me the massive buildings, show me the massive infrastructure, show me the massive businesses that we've built. When we didn't have no Westerners, we were building human civilization. Now we have Westerners, the only thing that we can build is white people bank accounts and following, and it's pathetic.
All right, so Ghana to Ghana we go.
Yeah, I forgot to do some work now, but
Yeah, to go as well.
it was good to reason with you. And
And chatting with you.
can you just sort out your diet though, please? Because I've been speaking to you now for what, 4 years now.
When I come to Ghana, I'm gonna be vegan.
Ghana is not the place to come and be vegan. Let me tell you that for free. You got more vegan places in New York than you have here.
Look, I can't be vegan. I need my curry chicken.
No, go to Peace Food and eat the food there. When I took you there, both times you said it's nice food.
Oh yeah, I did like the food, but I mean, I don't have money to be spending on Peace Foods every minute. But when you come back, we gotta go to Peace Foods.
You don't be having money to spend on cancer treatment. And who says I'm coming back there?
You coming back? you gotta come visit.
I do not like that place. All right, respect and
Bye, have a good day.
come on, bless it.
Say hi to the elephants. Okay, bye guys. Oh, so the water bottle is the vegan gift shop place. Hold on, guys. It's a vegan gift shop, and it's in his bio as well. And I got the amethyst because that's my favorite stone. Anyways, guys, be well. Have a good day. Blessings to you.